Hi, I'm Marie with Whole Horse Partnership, and today I wanted to ask a question to the viewers here, and it is something that's very important, something that I'm going through right now. And the question is, how far is too far to board your horse? So I posted this question in one of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of, and I was pleasantly surprised that I got over 100 comments, to this question. And so it really is a hot button, for horse owners, because none of us want to spend a lot of time in the car traveling, and especially, conditions in the Northeast where I live, can be a little bit dangerous, especially in the wintertime. So, right now my situation is that I'm 45 minutes away from where I board my horse. Okay, it's not too bad at all. It's a very pleasant drive. And the dilemma that I'm going through is that I'm considering moving him 15 minutes away further. So it's actually a 40-mile drive as compared to a 33-mile drive. And so I have a lot of things to consider, the price of gas, and then also the extra 15 minutes, going to the barn. And it adds up because it's basically another half an hour added onto my schedule of driving. And I worry that the further the distance, the more that it might make me not want to go, okay? Because already I go about 4 times a week, sometimes 5. And right now that seems to be as much as I can kind of do. But I feel like I'm within a range that if there was ever anything that happened, an emergency, God forbid, that I could get there. And there hasn't been. In the 3 years that I've been at this particular barn, there hasn't been any kind of issue or emergency, thank goodness. Yeah. So, so it's something that I wanted to get some feedback on. And in this Facebook group that I posted this question, the answers that I got were really pretty amazing, Of course, the consensus is that closer is better, but I found people responding that, one person traveled 2 hours in one direction. They had to take a bus for 1 hour, and then they had to change transportation or whatever and go the additional hour, and then even walk part of the way, So, that's quite a lot of effort. And another person actually traveled 5 hours one direction because it was a barn and an instructor that they really, really wanted to work with. And so I can understand that, because in my situation, this is also an instructor that I definitely want to work with and have worked with before. But now that I have my own horse, I really do want to work with this person. So, so it's been on my mind for a long time. So I wanted to get your feedback. Oh, I just wanted to add that sort of the consensus, on this, on the 100 comments that I got from this Facebook group is that largely 45 minutes, I would say, is kind of the limit for most people. They would not want to go beyond that, although people do go like an hour. But some people are very lucky to be able to have their horses, like 20 minutes away. And so, of course, I think we would all agree that closer is better, and that is the most ideal situation. I have to say that I feel like I'm really very lucky. I'm very grateful for the fact that the place that I'm at right now is a good place to board. Okay, I think the facilities are pretty good, and I like the instructor a lot. Okay, so I have to say that. And the reason that I wanted to move further is because the instructor, I wanted to work with her. This is a person that we see eye to eye, when it comes to training and riding. And also, I would say the facilities are very much better. Okay, so the footing in the indoor arenas, between the two, the one that's further away is much better. Now, the outdoor arena is great as well. It's a little bit smaller, and it's also kind of a little A little bit funky just because it's on a slight incline, slightly, but it's not a big deal. I mean, I've ridden at this place a lot. Yeah, I also wanted to add that at the facility that I'm at right now, there are always a lot of jumps that are set up in the outdoor arena as well as the indoor arena. And they're a little bit more flexible about changing, sometimes the jumps in the indoor arena. And because I'm not really a jumper, I do like to jump once in a while, but I practice mostly dressage. And so whenever I'm practicing, I always have to go around the jumps, and kind of create this whole new pattern, instead of being able to kind of do the test and practice the test straightforward. And there's pluses and minuses to that, right? You don't want to over practice the test and make it just kind of a rote, pattern that you memorize. They change the arena configurations a lot. So they do a lot of flat work, they do jump work, they do poles. I mean, there's really all kinds of things that are going on. And I would have to say things are not the same every day, when you go. And you can also change things without people getting too upset. So there's all these different pluses, and then also it's less expensive. Okay. And for me right now, that's a little bit of a consideration because, with the COVID and everything, our business really kind of got, hit, and we didn't have quite as much work during 2020 and 2021. So things kind of went downhill a little bit there, and I'm just a little bit concerned, and that's another reason why I'm thinking about moving. So I want to throw that question out to you. How far do you think is too far to board? I wanted to add something else into the mix because at the other facility, they don't have a stall for me yet. And so I would have to field board. And that's a little bit scary for me just because my horse is used to having a stall. Even though I personally feel like, wow, I would love my horse to have as much outdoor time as possible. And I do believe that, except for when you live in the Northeast, there are times where there are some extreme storms, and I feel like I would like my horse to be inside. So and it's not winter right now, we're going into summer, so this is probably the perfect time for a transition. And also in the future, they said that I could have a stall when there's one available. So, but I just wanted to ask, how people feel out there about, field board versus being in a stall, and what that transition might have been like for you. Have you ever taken your horse from one facility where it was being stall boarded and then transitioned into field board, and how was that transition for you? And I really appreciate you watching, and any comments and suggestions that you might offer. So leave them in the comment section down below, and thank you very much. I look forward to your answers to your comments and questions. All right, have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye.